Hi there. Hi guys. Welcome to Sermon Sunday. Hi Sorikun. Thanks for my cowboy hat. Hey everybody. Welcome. welcome. Look, I just finished doing an update on the channel. I just did an update on the live stream. And right after I finished the live stream, Spirit's like, no, I don't want you to wait before sunset. I heard before sunset. So this is new for me because you know me, I do my sermons late at night. So, it's whatever Spirit wants. So we're going to do the sermon Sunday today. We're going to do it right now. And I have the window open. I've got some sun in here. And I wanted to do it now before the sun sets. Let me see here 1 second. Hold on a second. Looks like the sun sets. Oh, we have an hour. No wonder why. The sun sets here at 7:57. So we have about an hour and 20 minutes. I think it is divine timing. About an hour and 20 minutes of good old time. Ooh, don't want to play that. We have an hour and 20 minutes to sermon today. Okay, so let me just, okay, here we go. So welcome to Sermon Sunday. This is actually what I'm going to call it from now on. I'm going to call it Sermon Sunday. It just feels like it fits. And I don't know why, but I was hearing the words capture, captivity. I was hearing the words capture, captivity. And before I don't want to forget, before I forget, I'm going to write it. Hold on just a second, guys. Sorry. There we go. Captivity. Yes, that's how you spell it. Capture, captivity. I keep saying captivity. Capture, captivity. Okay, that's what I want to call it. I have, what's the word I'm trying to say? I've experienced very much within the last almost 12 hours, 18 hours, I think 18 hours. Okay, and it's just interesting how what I've experienced the last 18 hours kind of sums up the title of this channel, capture, captivity. I was just speaking with a friend of mine last night, right? And I was catching up with this friend, and I want to just sort of find out how my friend was doing. The reason why I wanted to follow up with my friend is because I had learned that my friend was held at gunpoint a couple of days ago. Was held at gunpoint. It was very shocking to hear that. My friend was robbed and held at gunpoint a couple of days ago in California. My friend lives in California. Let me make sure my volume is up here. And I wanted to check in and see how he was doing. Long story short, he had his film equipment and photography equipment with him, which is very expensive. And I guess a couple of people that were driving by saw him packing the equipment in his car and decided to stop and hold him up at gunpoint and take his stuff. They hit him, on the nose, on the side of the head with the gun. It was pretty violent. It was horrible to hear. I wouldn't want that to happen to anybody. And I'm just glad that, he remained alive. It was just really shocking to hear, but also kind of a reality check of how things can happen when we least expect it. It's kind of a reality check to kind of watch our back. And the most, I think, out of everything, I think the most significant detail that stood out to me the most when he told me that story a couple of days ago was that it happened in broad daylight in a pretty well-known trafficked area, downtown area where he lives, 11 a.m. It happened in broad daylight, you know, and a lot of people who see this are going to be frightened, and so he felt very alone. You know, there was no assistance from anybody's end publicly, and thank God he survived. But again, it's just like, you know, it's like a reality check that anything could happen at any time, and we must be prepared for it. I feel like we must be prepared for it. And I'm not trying to freak anybody out watching this. I'm not trying to freak you out. But I'm just sharing, because this goes deeper than, you know, just my friend's experience and story. Just goes much deeper. I feel like this is all relative towards the title of Capture Captivity. Capture Captivity, okay? My friend ended up with a broken nose and lost thousands of dollars in equipment, and you know, that was the extensivity, that was the extension of, you know, the violence there. But the trauma of it, the trauma and the mental agony and emotional agony can be more excruciating than the physical wounds and the financial losses. The agony, the trauma, the mental, the emotional lack of clarity, imbalance, and agony can be more severe than the actual physical wounds and the financial losses that he encountered. Capture captivity. Capture captivity. It's so important for us in this very tricky world, in this challenging life we live in the duo energy, good versus evil world that we live in. It's very important for us to pay attention. Look at the police, the ambulance sound is passing on by just now. It's very important for us to pay attention, because we do live in a dual world. We live in a dual world of evil and goodness. And it's so important for us to watch our back. And I don't mean just in our cities, in our neighborhoods, and outside in the world. Well, yes, that's true. But I'm also talking about spiritually. See, here's the thing. I had told my friend a long time ago, multiple times, you need to move. I feel like you need to move. I don't like your area. I don't like the feel of it. I feel like you need to move. So I'm not saying I told you so. I'm not saying you should have. I'm not saying if you had listened to me, this wouldn't have happened. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying, oh, I'm psychic and I saw your future. I saw this happening, and because you didn't listen to me, this is what occurred. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that Spirit brought the warning. Spirit brought the warning through me to him to tell him, hey, it's time to move on. Brought the warning. It's almost like, you know, in tarot we see the Tower card. It's like me warning somebody, the tower's gonna come, you need to change, you need to listen to me, the tower's gonna come, and then boom, the tower just hits and everything just falls. The tower just hits and everything just falls. And that card is so frightening in itself. It's got an image of people falling literally from a tower. There's fire. There's just, you can see the motion of the people just hanging in the middle of the air. You can imagine in your mind all the chaos and agony in that message. I could have said, if you listen to me, I told you, my dear friend whom I care about so much. I warned you. I said for millions of times, I'm feeling like you need to move. I feel like you need to move. I'm not liking the feeling. I feel like it's dangerous. Yeah, it comes off safe and diverse and all of that, but I feel like something bad is going to happen. You need to move. I'm telling you. And my friend ignored it. Before that gunpoint incident, actually, he had witnessed some people doing some criminal activity beforehand. I think it was about a month prior to the gunpoint incident a couple of days ago. He had witnessed some people rob somebody else and stuff their trunk of their belongings. It was like the second message from Spirit. The very first message was my friend who went to go shop at Whole Foods Market and was trying to be kind in assisting somebody who was mentally ill. And the security guard at the Whole Foods Market did the pepper spray, put the pepper spray in his eyes and attacked him. First warning. So this dude got one, let's see, Whole Foods Market, robbery witness, and then gunpoint. Damn. You would think I'm talking about some really, really horrible, you know, town or city or neighborhood. Like, you're probably thinking, where does he live? Where does he live? Well, I'm not disclose that just for privacy reasons, but he lives in a pretty good neighborhood. He used to live in one of my old neighborhoods, actually, that I used to live in. But it doesn't matter. You could live in Baltimore, Maryland. You could live in Compton, Los Angeles. You could live in the hood. You could live in Detroit, Michigan, deep in the hood. You could live in Beverly Hills. You could live in Manhattan. You could live in the East Hamptons. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because when Spirit warns us and we don't listen, evil will capture your captivity. Evil will capture your captivity. And evil will captivate you into captivity. Let me rephrase that, actually. Forget capture, captivity. I'm getting a more important message and phrase here. When we don't listen to the warnings of Spirit, and Spirit brings in our first warning, then brings in our second warning. You're lucky if you get a third warning. If you get a third warning, what happens is, if you don't listen to those warnings, what did I tell you in the other live stream? There's no such thing as God's protection is God's rejection is God's protection. No, Spirit backs off, and in comes the devil. In comes the devil. Captivating you, capturing you. Captivating you, capturing you into captivity. Into captivity. What is captivity? Anybody know? Captivity is very much synonymous with being held hostage. Someone who's held captive. Being held hostage. Being held hostage. My friend was held hostage in his mind initially. In his mind. Whole Foods Market got pepper sprayed and attacked publicly. Ended up in the news. Nothing was done. That's a total mind captivation. The second experience, as I said, my friend witnessed a robbery. People shoving items that don't belong to them in the back of their trunk. That's the second captivation. Because now the devil is warning you. The devil is warning you that this can happen right in front of you, or this can happen to you. The third warning, which is, like I said, was a couple of days ago when my friend was robbed, got all of his photography and film equipment robbed and stolen from him in broad daylight in the middle of downtown by gunpoint. And then they skirted off in their car and fled the scene. Third, captivity. And even it became physical. They hit him in the face, knocked him on his side with the gun. He had to go to the hospital, get scans done. God, he only had a broken nose, but that's going to take lots of healing unless he has to opt for surgical procedure, which is potentially going to probably have to happen. So he's lost his mind, he's lost his emotional safety, he lost his items, his tangible goods, and now he has more money to fix his face. When we don't listen, the tower moment came in 3 times for this dude. The tower moment came in 3 times. 3. 1, 2, 3 times for this dude. And I warned him. Like I said, I didn't say I told you so. I didn't say I told you so. I warned him. I said, look, I said months ago, actually almost a year, 2 years ago, I said, I feel like you need to move. I feel like you need to move. I don't like the messages I'm getting. I feel like something bad is going to happen. You need to move. Oh, it's safe. No, I feel like you need to move. You're not listening to me. Spirit's telling you, you need to change your lifestyle. You need to change your money situation. You need to move. You need to move. I'm telling you, I feel like you need to move. I feel like something bad's going to happen. When we don't listen to Spirit, we are captured. We are captured. When is the last time you didn't listen to Spirit? When is the last time you didn't listen to Spirit? I have one fear in this life. I have one fear in this life. And that is not listening to Spirit and facing the consequences of not listening to Spirit. Again, I'll repeat, I have one fear in this life, and that's not listening to Spirit and facing the consequences, the wrath of not listening to Spirit. Because when we don't listen to Spirit, we do what we want to do. Oh, it does not look pretty. It does not look pretty at all. The devil isn't kind. The devil doesn't bring in tea and say, let's have a tea meeting today. I want to discuss with you, what we're preparing to captivate you, to capture you. I just want to have some tea time with you and discuss what we're planning. We're planning your death, and we're planning to capture you today. Just, schedule some time with my secretary and let's discuss it over tea time. The devil does not do that. And God doesn't do that. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. We are so invested in not listening, and we end up capturing our own captivity. How many times have you heard me discuss the shackles? The shackles. How many times have you heard me even say the word the shackles? Too many times. So many times that you'd be rich by now if you counted how many times I said it and did $10 to the word. I always said the shackles, the shackles. The thing about it is that we're always kind of sometimes looking on the outskirts or externally for like this devil. It's like creeping around. Like, oh, it's gotta be in my house. Flush out the energy of your home. Let's sanitize it. Let's incense it out. Let's get rid of the devil. Now, it's important to do all of that. But at the same time, how do you incense? How do you flush out you? How do you flush out you? It's incredible because so many people, they get their healing message from me. A lot of people, I'm like, God's trying to tell you to heal. God's trying to tell you to really, change your life and really figure it out by getting in the inside. God is really, really saying to you today, in your messages, it's time to get in the inside. Time to get in the inside. And people are like, okay. And then I get an email. Oh my God, my boyfriend wants to break up. How come you didn't tell me? My wife wants to leave me or had an affair. How come I did not know about this? Well, I told you to heal. And when we don't do the internal work, all of that bad stuff becomes attractive. We attract all of the negative stuff. We attract it all. And the devil is tricky. Like I said, the devil is tricky. The devil doesn't schedule tea time with you. The devil is tricky. The devil waits, creeps, 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 and waits like an animal in the jungle, like on the South African safari, like a black panther, creeps quietly, slowly, creeps slowly, and then sits and waits, and waits, and is patient. Like an animal in the jungle, sits like on a South African safari, quietly, and waits, and does this with their paws, and waits, doesn't even move, only moves their eyes, looks at you from the side, looks at you from the other side, and waits quietly, so quiet you don't even know it's there. You don't even know where to see. It's sitting there looking right at you, waiting quietly. And then all of these things happen to you. All of these bad things happen to you. The very things that God warned you about. The one thing bad happens to you. The second bad thing happens to you. The third bad thing happens to you. And so on. And it waits and watches as you struggle emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, mentally, and just waits and waits. And it licks its paws and waits, just sits and doesn't even blink an eye. And then as soon as you hit your last and final moment, an hour of absolute stress, to your tower moment falling from the castle, it just waits. And it attacks. And then it attacks. It attacks. And it attacks. And then we get the whole saying of, God, I'm having a bad day. What's going on here? Why does everything all of a sudden feel like I can't do nothing right? Why is this happening? Why did that happen? Why did that happen? What's going on? I feel like everything is just crumbling. I feel like everything's at a loss. It just pounces and it comes and it attacks you just like a tiger in the middle of the African safari that sees a rhinoceros or a deer. It's and it eats you up for breakfast and for dinner. Then it passes on your meat to its cubs. It just eats you all up and you are nothing but bones. You've given up. You struggled. You can't take it. You're crying. You're depressed. You're worried. You're burdened. You're left depleted. You got no money. You're saddened. You're agonized. You got a gun to your head. You don't feel safe. Now you're carrying a pepper spray. Now you're freaking out. Now you're paranoid. All these things happen to you. Then you want drugs. Then you addicted. And you got family members who are worried about you. You in your apartment for too long. Didn't shower, didn't shave, didn't bathe, didn't nothing. Everybody's worried about you. All these things are happening because when all these things are happening, you know what's going on? It's the devil. It's the tiger going, ah, 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 ah. It's the devil. It's the tiger going, ah, ah, ah. It's attacking you. It's attacking you. It captured you. It captured you. Now you are held captive. You are held captive. Once that devil, once that tiger just gets one claw, just one claw in you, it don't take 5 million swipes. It just takes one claw for the tiger just to get their claw in you, one, and you are out. Just like you see a tiger just prance, jump up on the side of a deer, it just puts their one little claw in the deer, and the deer just is jolted, affected. The deer jolts and is affected, and they're done. The deer is done. Even a bull cannot escape a tiger on the safari or in the outskirts out there. A tiger who's attacking a bull can't even survive it, and a bull is massive. A bull is massive. Bullfighting. Once the devil's got that claw in the side of you or behind you or wherever it is, you are done. And majority of the time, none of its victims are ready, just as I had demonstrated. Majority of the time, none of you are ready. How many of you are ready for the devil? A lot of you are not. That's why you're getting tarot readings, because a lot of us are not ready for the devil. The devil comes to you and prances when you need. When you were at your lowest, that's when the devil comes. When you were at your lowest, when the deer is walking around the plains and the safari lands and hungry and just can't find any food and is sipping from the pond because they're so thirsty for water that the water is actually going to be their dinner. That's when the tiger feels its vulnerability. That's when the panther feels its vulnerability. It comes because it sees that it has nothing to eat and it's weak. It's probably hot. It's probably exhausted. They're like, that deer's hot and exhausted and weak. It's a perfect time to come and prance on in. It's a perfect time to come and prance on in. When you're feeling weak or at your lowest or confused, that's a perfect time for the devil to come on in. To captivate, and make you its captivity. That's what it does. We must identify when this happens, when it's about to happen, and prevent it from happening. 3 things. We must identify when this will happen, prepare for when it may happen, and identify and prevent it from happening. We must do that. It's called staying on your A game. It's called staying on your A game. And a lot of people don't stay on their A game. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll just get to it, I'll just get to it when it happens, I'll just, That's you sipping at the pond as a deer. I'll just do it, I'll just heal another time. I'll just change my ways. Or I'll just break up with them, Or I'll just say no more, I can't take it no more, you gotta go when Or I'll just change my job, when I get more time and can look at more opportunities. Or I'll just get out of this relationship, when I find somebody new so I can get a filler in. Or you know what, I'll leave them alone because they just don't want me, when. We always primarily set ourselves up for the tiger to come on in. We most of the time primarily set ourselves up for the tiger to come on in. Majority of the time, humans are not brave enough to be alone. That's the problem. Majority of the time, humans are not brave enough to be alone. They'd rather have company than be alone. It's very hard for humans to be a tiger in the middle of the safari land. They're like, I don't want to go to the movies alone. I'm going to call a friend. I'm going to see who wants to come. I don't want to eat by myself at that restaurant. Are you kidding? I would die going to the restaurant by myself. No, I'm going to call my girls, see if they want to come and hang out. What school are you going to? You going to that university? Okay, good, because I want us to go together. Date? Well, why don't you date yourself? Why don't you go to? No, I don't want to go to that. I want to. Let's find out who's available. What options there are. We have a hard time sitting with ourselves majority of the time. In fact, we will insert a lot of things besides people. I'll repeat. We have a hard time being with ourselves majority of the time. We will insert a lot of other things just besides people. We will insert, yes, human company. We will insert lies. We will insert false truths that we tell ourselves that look like lies. So we become pathological liars to ourselves. I'll give you an example. I know she wants me. I know she wants me. I could tell. You see that smile, the side of her face, I could tell when I came in. I could tell she wants me, I could tell she likes me, Dude, she wasn't smiling at you. She had something in her teeth she was trying to get out. No. There was nothing in her teeth. She was looking at me. Did you see the way she was looking at me? She digs me. Or you know what? I am just fine. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to be a better father than he ever was. My dad, what he can leave for the 50 millionth time. I'm going to be a better father than he ever was. Kind of reminds me of that Fresh Prince scene, that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air show when his dad had come around, Will Smith's real dad, quote unquote, had come around and was making plans with Will and then bailed out on him at the last minute, and Will was like, I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. I'm gonna have me a honey and some kids and a degree and a great job and da 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 da. We tell ourselves so many false truths about the reality of it all. And that's another way of allowing the devil to come on in and sit there and watch us. Because the devil doesn't come on in when you're doing good. The devil doesn't come on in when you're getting promotions. The devil doesn't come on in when you're feeling fly. The devil doesn't come on in when you're making money. The devil doesn't come on in when you're engaged to your boo. The devil doesn't come on in when you just celebrated your college degree and are like, hey, I think I know what I want to do now with that degree. The devil doesn't come on in when you're feeling spiritually high and ascended, like, today's a beautiful day. I love you, God. The devil doesn't come on in churches and be like, you know what? Let's see who we can get today from all of these strong, confident, stable believers. Let's see who we can capture today. The devil gets people. The devil gets people who are unsure. We can lie to ourselves and still be unsure. We can be in a relationship and be unsure of the person we're with, as if we made the right decision or not. We can be unsure about the job that we actually want to do or what our purpose is. There's so much doubt in this world that society profits off of our doubt. Society profits, like, you ever see the commercials with the prescriptions and the medicines? Go take Xanax, go take Xanax. It is 100% going to heal you. It's going to rid you of all that you're feeling. But just be careful, because then they talk 90 miles after that. Can give you stomach aches, can give you heart aches, can give you heart attack, can cause blindness, can cause, itchy. You can get itchy skin, can cause allergies, can cause diarrhea, all these different things. And all of a sudden you're unsure about what you actually are introducing into your system. Unsure about what you're actually introducing into your system. Like, wait a minute, Should I take this prescription? Should I take this medication? Should I? Lack of clarity, doubt, unsure. It's impossible. It's impossible to feel good on doubt or lack of clarity. It is impossible. How can you sleep at night on lack of clarity or doubt? I'll tell you this. It's easier to tell ourselves a lie and then go to sleep and say, you know what? Everything is just fine. I took a Xanax today and my life is just fine. Body, you're fine? Good. And your body's like itching. You're having diarrhea. You can't even see straight anymore. You're getting headaches. Body, you're doing good. And the body's like trying to talk to you and say, oh, I don't know. I'm glad you're doing good. See you in the morning. Doubt, unsure, lack of clarity. That's another way that the devil captures you. That's another way that the tiger just prances on you and jumps on you. When you're unsure, when you look weak, when you look lost, when you just don't know what to do. Just like the tiger prancing on the lost, starving deer who's licking the stream or the ponds of water because it's thirsty. The cute deer. You're like, oh, this deer looks so cute. And then in 5 milliseconds, the deer is dead. We must be sure of who we are and what we bring to the table. We must be sure of who we are and what we bring to the table. A lot of people are like, you know what? I got my boo today. My boo wants me today. My boo is coming on over today. We're celebrating our 5th year anniversary. Guess what? But in the back of your mind, you're like, conversation between you and you, you're like, yeah, I don't know. I think they might still be interested in their ex, or I don't think they really are into me as much as I thought. You know, are they really telling the truth? Are they really going to be here at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or are they going to bail out like last time? We must be sure of who we are and what we do and how we present ourselves to the world. But more importantly, what we tell ourselves about who we are. Capturing captivity can be prevented by knowing who you are. There are a lot of people who have no idea who they are. There are a lot of people who have gone to CVS today and they have no idea who they are. There are a lot of people who ate McDonald's today and they don't know who they are. There are a lot of people that went swimming at the beach today and they still don't know who they are. There are grandmas and grandpas who saw their grandchildren today and kissed them and said, it's so nice to see you, kitties. And they have no idea who they are. There is a president of the United States who's making a decision and signing documentations and papers and proposals and has no idea who he is. There are people who are in the service, who are serving the military, in the Army, in the Marines, in the Coast Guard, and they have no idea who they are. There are mamas and papas in your house who have no idea who they are. There are boyfriends and girlfriends who have no idea who they are, and they're still coming around and smiling and saying, hey. There are a lot of humans who have no idea who they are. And we have manifested captivity and have captured it. We've glamorized it. We have made so many movies about the devil and dark energy and captivation. From the Da Vinci Code to what's that movie with the girl floating on the floor? All these movies that talk about paranormal activity and devils running around and all of these negative energies we have created, which is basically synonymous with the word manifested. We've created all of these dark energies just to explain the simplest thing: doubt. When we doubt our minds, we doubt ourselves. It's time to get our minds in check. It's time for us to notice when it's actually us and when it's actually them. When it's actually us, when it's actually them. When I say us, I'm talking about God. When I'm talking about them, I'm talking about the devil. I'm talking about your thoughts. When it's actually God and when it's actually the devil intervening in your thoughts, we are sometimes unable to decipher whom is who. People are like, God, I don't know. I mean, what should I do? Should I do this? Should I go there? I don't know. I don't know what to do. What do I always say? God brings us clarity. Whenever we have clarity, when we don't have any doubt, we have complete understanding of what's going on, it usually stems from God. It stems from the light. Light is transparent. Light is transparent. When we usually are in doubt, or we don't understand what's going on, or we're confused, Chief, can you tell me? I'm a bit confused. I don't know. It usually stems from dark thoughts. It usually starts from dark energy. It's nothing associated with God. It's no connection with spirit whatsoever. It's time for us to push away the darkness, the confusion, and the captivity, and become free in our own thoughts. Prayer is essential. Meditation is essential. Being with our own thoughts and our own mind and our own spirit is so essential to our healing. We are so bombarded with noise, it's not even funny. We've even created white noise to tell us that it could heal our minds. Okay, so let's hear shh. That brings clarity, right? Let's do that. Let's bring white noise. That brings clarity. That definitely does it. That's the answer. That's the $1 million resolution. The white noise. All of that noise is definitely going to clear my mind. Going to bring some understanding. It's going to make things very, very transparent for me. All that noise is going to do it. Capture captivity. Capture captivity is all about you taking control of making sure, in other words, preventing any interruption. That's all it is. Capturing captivity is all about you preventing any interruption. And a lot of people don't know how. That's why they need others to guide them. Totally understandable. But it's so important for us to be on the roll, on the roster roll, and understanding how to prevent being captured and remaining captive. And a lot of us are confused or lost or distracted. And the easiest, the most vulnerable, our weakest point is when we're going through our suffering. That's when we are captured into captivity. Where we're suffering, that's when the tiger prances towards us. When we're going through our lowest, weakest, most vulnerable positions and energies in life, that's when we are falling to become prey. The devil mess with people who are financially stable and know who they are and are doing well and feeling good and taking care of their body, taking care of their wellness, making sure that they have enough food on the table, making sure that they have some friends to speak to when necessary, making sure that they have a support system, making sure that they got that income and job flowing on it. The devil doesn't mess with those people because more than 10 times, I can't even say it, these people have gone through the test and have passed the test. There are tests that we all must go through. And the devil's like, let's not waste our time with Joe Schmo here. They've been through the test already and they passed it. Why waste our time with them? Why waste our time sitting there looking at somebody who's making it happen? What? I want the one that doesn't know the route. I want the one that needs a map or a GPS. I want the one who's lost and gets frustrated, feels weak. I want the one who doubts themselves. I want the one who doubts their families or their friends or their lovers. I want someone who doubts themselves. Because when we don't know which way to go, oh boy, isn't it easy for someone to come up on our parade? Isn't it easy for the devil to swoop on in like they're a superhero in disguise and try to save your day? Capture captivity. I just wanted to talk about that today because it's really important for us to work on our capturing captivity skills, preventing from ourselves being captured and captivated by the devil. And the devil is very sneaky because the devil will bring in tests and see what you want to do. And the devil will always like high five their partners when you make the wrong decision. Oh boy, do they high five. They're like, yeah, yeah. We must look for the hints and the clues. And the biggest clues are when we are at our most vulnerable stage, when we're feeling physically tired, mentally exhausted, emotionally depleted, spiritually wounded, misguided, all of those ED words that end in ED, that's our most vulnerable stage. It's important for us to prevent captivity because, like I said, once that tiger's got their claw on your side, just that one little claw, it only takes one little claw for you to become its dinner. It only takes one little claw. Just like somebody you're very attracted to, and the reality is you take off the mask, they are the devil in disguise, but you don't see it initially. It only takes one conversation. It only takes one meeting with them. It only takes one rendezvous with them for them to get you and eat you up for dinner. Unless you're able to see behind the mask. Be careful, folks. Be careful. Make sure that you're not being watched. Do your spiritual work. Do your spiritual work. That's how you become mentally balanced. Do your spiritual work. Do your spiritual work. That's how you become emotionally balanced. The devil doesn't mess with believers and strong spiritual seekers. He's like, I don't got time for that. I'm hungry. I'm not trying to fight with somebody who can match my weight. I'm not trying to attack another tiger or a lion. I'm trying to look for the fish. I'm trying to look for the bulls. I'm trying to look for the deer. I'm trying to look for the little frogs and so forth. I'm trying to look for the weak ones. So do your spiritual work, people. I feel that very strongly because when you do spiritual work, you will understand what it takes to prevent your captivity. You will understand what it takes to prevent from being captured. You will understand. I want to leave this right here. And I will at some point, probably next Sunday, talk about the ways to prevent your capture. But I just wanted to bring some food for thought to your mind about prevention. And starting the wheel, starting your engine, moving the wheels, and just keeping an eye out. Instead of the devil keeping an eye out for you. Kind of like a I see you type of thing. You keeping an eye out. Next Sunday, I want to talk about prevention techniques and skills and some spiritual tools that you'll need because it's so important to have those tools. Otherwise, you'll have no idea how to fight or prevent. Even better, prevent. Okay? Okay, folks, so I'm going to leave this right here for the Sermon Sunday for today. I feel that today is another glorious day. And I'm going to leave this right here, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate your time. And feel free to comment or any questions you might have. Feel free to do that if you'd like. I'll be back around, like I said, for Quickie Tarot readings tonight from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. Just this Sunday, like I said, I'm going to be doing Quickie Tarot readings on a weekly basis now, every Sunday. So information is on the community post if you guys need, or in the live stream that I just did earlier, okay? Please be safe And please stay strong, and I'll see you next time. Love, light, peace, and balance to you. Bye.